Hi children, what is up? Today, I don't know what I'm doing exactly. I just decided to film. I think I'm just gonna be talking. I think this is just gonna be like a long talk about just 2019 and just stuff. I want to talk about two things: relationships and like at my child age, my infant age, and about 2019. Let's start with 2019. So 2019 is it started, it has happened, it is here. 2018 is in the past. 2017 I feel like was just a really shitty year. Like, it was not a good year. It was a really bad year, like horrible, just, awful. 2018 was really, I guess, like, it was a hard year. Like, it was like, I felt like a mountain, but you were going really fast. Like, 2018 went by really fast, but it was like very hard. Like, there were a lot of things that we had to overcome in that year. I think 2019 is gonna be like a healing year, like a year that's like, I think this year is going to be a really good year, but I think next year might be a bit better. 2019, so I'm going to start off with my New Year's resolutions. So my New Year's resolutions are to eat healthier, which I kind of low-key already failed that because I made a cake today for a video, but I only had one slice, so lose weight, which I knew by eat healthier and all that. Be less angry, because I'm normally like when something bad happens, I explode and I get really like, and I can do that, but yeah, I'm not making sense. I hold things in and then I just kind of like explode, and it makes me seem like I have anger issues, which I probably do, but to like not hold things in as much and to not get angry all the time, and to find a boyfriend. I hope it's a good year. I think it might be. I don't. Those are my New Year's resolutions. I know this is gonna sound like really bad, but I hope I make a lot of friends, more friends, because I have like no one to hang out with, and all my friends are always busy because they like hate me, and and I like gain self-confidence in myself because that's always nice. I'm tired. It's like 1 o'clock at night. This whole break, I've stayed up so late every single night. Every single night I stay up until like 3 a.m. or like 5 a.m. It's always like around that time. And I get so tired throughout the day, and I need to like stop doing that. I'm just talking to a camera because I don't have friends. I'm not doing well. When there's somebody else talking with me, I talk easier, but right now it's like I'm on the spot. I'm being put on the spot, and I don't. Anyways, I think there's a lot to happen in 2019. Like, I think I'm excited for sophomore year specifically about 2019, and I know that's more for 2020, but I'm excited for like the start of it and just the end of freshman year and the start of the start of sophomore year. I'm just excited for it because I want to do more things in sophomore year, because this year I'm kind of getting used to things because it was my first year on the competitive competition team at my dance studio, plus my first year of high school. So I was just getting used to a lot of things, and next year, now that like I know kind of what I'm in for, kind of want to manage my time better, and kind of want to do stuff. And then I'm also excited for the summer because I'm excited for my birthday. My birthday is on a Monday this year though, so that kind of sucks. It's whatever. I'll get past it. I'm also gonna get a job this year, I hope, because I need money. I need money so badly. I was really trying to be positive last year, but that was kind of forced. Like, low-key last year was kind of forced. Like, it was forced positivity. Anyways, now I'm gonna talk about relationships. I don't know where to start. There's so much to start with relationships. Oh my god. So I guess we'll talk about me always saying that I want a boyfriend. Okay, I'm not serious. There are guys that I'm talking to, like, or that I'm like cool with, like they like me and I like them, and we're like, there's just a bunch of stuff in the way. But when it comes down to it, commitment at my age, like if you love someone and you're in love with them, like sure, but like if you're not, then like don't, I think you can fall in love at any age. I don't like when people are like, you're too young. Like, you definitely aren't. Like, you can fall in love at any age. It's a feeling. It's not like a drug. Like that needs to become a quote. Love, it's a feeling, not a drug. My thing is, if you're not like in love, if we're not in love, then we're not gonna date until we are in love, because it just helps. Like, you don't, okay, so if you're not in love with someone, then you're gonna have eyes on other people. It's common sense. But if you are in love with someone, then you're only gonna have eyes for them. So if you are not in love with someone and you're dating them, like you're in a relationship with them, that's just gonna cause issues, because you're gonna end up liking someone else or having feelings or whatever for someone else, and you're gonna, like, 2 weeks into your relationship, you're like, adios. Two, when you aren't in a relationship, it's so much easier to figure out who you like and who you want to be with. It's a very easy strategy. So that's, yeah. And third of all, when you are in that relationship, you're instead of always being constantly at each other's throats, which sometimes you are constantly at each other's throats, but you figure a way around it, but not constantly, instead of, like, you're actually also experiencing the, oh, I'm in love with him. If you're going to be in a relationship with someone, you should probably be in love with them before you do that, before you make it official, because you're going to find someone else, essentially. Dating in general, like, just dating, and I'm not talking about being in a relationship, I'm talking about, like, dating. Be careful. Like, don't just say yeah to any guy or any girl, because people suck, and that's a fact. I'm not saying everyone sucks, but there's people out there who just suck. Don't be naive, even though, like, that's easy to say, and that's easy to be like, I'm not gonna be naive, when you probably are. Like, somebody's gonna be like, hey, you wanna go out? And you're gonna be like, yeah. And then people are gonna be like, isn't he like a douche? And you're like, no. When in reality, he's like stealing everything, And I know that's like that's not a good example, but you know what I mean, guys. Like, just be very careful when it comes to dating a bunch of people to figure out who you like, because, that could end up with you being in love with someone that just isn't good and not a good person. Like, and I'm not talking about, like, physically, like, steals things, but, like, also kind of physically, like, he forces you to have sex with him, or he forces you, or he doesn't even force you, he's just not a good boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. And I'm being very super stereotypical when I say he, but same for you guys. Like, if you like are just dating, and, like, every single girl that asks you or you find cute, then you might end up with somebody who just, like, uses you, Like, even if you're in love with them, especially if you're in love with them, make sure that they're in love with you, because if you don't, then they most likely will be, like, using you or something. I think that's the next thing I'm gonna talk about, is how to tell if someone's in love with you. So, in my opinion, there are different stages of the likes and stuff, but I don't use, like, this percentage when I'm, like, being like, hey, are you, like, in love with me? Are you falling for me? But if they're like, I don't know, then I'll tell them this. The first stage is being like, oh, that person's cute. And I sometimes consider that a crush, but, like, crushes are, like, very small feelings too. They're like, oh, he's cute too. I have very small feelings, and that's a crush. And you talk to him and you're like, oh, I kind of have feelings for him, but, like, not really, like, no. And then it's like you actually have feelings for him. Like, you're starting to actually have feelings for him, and that's like the feeling that's like you want to kind of be around him more, but, like, not really, or her, whatever. I'm a girl, so I'm gonna say him, them more. You want to be around them more. You just want to be around them more, but you don't want to be, like, always around them. You just kind of want to, like, see. You want to be friends with them, you want to, like, befriend them, so you can talk to them and get to know them. And then you actually start to, like, have feelings for them, being like, the feeling, like, you gain that, oh, this person's, like, kind of amazing, or they're really nice, they're really sweet. If it's percentage-wise, it's, like, a crush is, like, 5%. And then the starting is, like, 10, and this is, like, 20. You gain those feelings, and then it gradually goes up. And this is where you're like, I can't say, like, the rising action, because that's not gonna make sense. You really like this person, and the more you hang out with them, like, you want to hang out with them, but you're not, again, you just want to, like, you want to hang out with them more and more, like, you kind of do, but you're kind of like, oh, you just have feelings for them. And it's like, it's very hard to explain, but it's just the feeling, the butterflies, and a little bit of the heart beating. Like, it's not so much,
like thinking about them every second of every hour of every day. Like, oh my god, I just always want to be around them. I miss them so much.
It's not that. I'm not gonna say you don't always have feelings for them, because you do, but you sometimes just don't notice it. It kind of just goes off the top of your head. Then there's the climax of the like feelings part. Like, oh, they're like cool. And this is where you start falling in love with them. Tip part, the part where you want to like always be with them. Feelings are really, really strong for this person. I guess you could say you love them. Like, you've gotten to the point where you love them. Be like, if anything happened to them, you would like not be okay. And so you love them, but you're not in love with them yet, obviously, because we haven't gotten there on our scale. You start falling for them because you're like, this person is amazing and I would love to spend the rest of my life with them, but like, you're like, wait, no. Like, this is where you become obsessed. You always think about them when you're not talking to them. When you are talking to them, you can like tell, like, they say something. Again, like, if they're your like best friend, then you kind of like, it low-key forget the feelings, but like, they're still there, but you kind of just, you forget about it because you're so happy with them. Also, you're very happy with them. You're just so happy with them that you forget, like, oh, I have these feelings, you know? And it's not so much the, oh, like, I don't have feelings for them. It's, oh, I'm so happy with them, you know? If that makes sense. And when they're not around, you always think about them. All you want to do is just text them and call them and talk to them. And you don't know if they feel the same way. You question, oh my god, do they feel the same way? Am I going insane? You think you're going insane. And then there's the point of just straight up obsession before you fall in love with them. If they're not a want anymore, they are a need. And then there's the in love, guys. And this is the feeling that everybody talks about. Every time you're around them, you can breathe, but your heart is just like not, like, skips a beat. It feels like you have butterflies, like, intensely. Like, it's not just it's the intense, like, oh my god, you want to be with them. You want to be like one whole, I guess, if that makes sense. You want to be one whole whenever you're around them. That's that. Okay, guys, so I know I'm kind of popping into the video a bit late, but I have a few things to tell you. For starters, I'm sorry I look like disgusting. I've been in bed all day yesterday and all day today, and yeah. Third of all, going over this clip, and I said third of all instead of second of all, so I'm well, I'm sorry that this is uploaded so late. Like, okay, I actually filmed this like New Year's Day, and then I started editing it, and then I just stopped editing it because life kind of hit me, you know. I started school, and school has been a mess, and so yeah, it's been a hot minute since this, so I'm really sorry about that. And third of all, none of what I just said makes sense. Like, anything in this video, like this love advice, I'm so sorry. Listen to your friends. If you are asking them for advice and they're telling you no, they're not a good person, they're not a good boyfriend, I know it's so hard for you to like break up with them at that moment, but like, you should definitely take their advice, because would you rather like get hurt and stay in the toxic relationship, and sooner or later get dumped or cheated on or whatever, or would you rather break it off then and be sad in the moment but find a new person? And it's so much easier to find a new person when you know that you were right. Just take your friend's advice if they're telling you this person is like not good, because you're gonna get hurt so much more if you just broke it off. If you're like, yeah, they're right, like they're not a good person. Confusing love situations. My advice for this is vibe with it. You're gonna be like, bleh, but just vibe with it. Whatever happens will happen. If it's meant to be, then it'll happen. Don't push something that isn't there. So like a love triangle. So if you are in a love triangle and you aren't dating anyone, you're just, this person likes me and I like them, but I also like this person, and you know, it's a big mess. Spend time with both of them equally. Figure out who makes you happier and who is just better for you. Who your heart wants is the one that you should decide, not the one that's like, oh, my parents like this, these people like him more, like my friends like him more. Think about who you like more. If you start crying, whoever you want to call first. Your crush not liking you back. If you're a boy or a girl and your crush is just over there and they're looking fine, they're great, and you start to love them and you care for them, like, even if you guys are friends, like, okay, so first I'm gonna go with the crush that's like not like, it's a crush. Like, you don't know them, you don't talk to them, it's just a crush. Just, like, talk to them and be like, yeah, I like you. Like, just straight up. And I know that's, like, really difficult, but you don't talk to this person. They're not gonna, like, I mean, they might judge you, they might tell your friends, but you don't talk to them. Like, it's gonna be so much easier than just being, like, waiting it out and, like, getting your feelings hurt or whatever. But, like, if you have their number by chance or whatever, just talk to them. And if they say no, that they don't like you, you didn't even know this person. You weren't, like, best friends with them. It's not going to affect your guys' relationship. Just, like, you'll find someone who you adore and you want to spend the rest of your life with. You will. I know that's cliche, but you definitely will. If it's, like, one of your good friends and you start to, like them, I definitely would still tell them. Like, I know there's the risk of, we might damage our friendship, but you're still damaging it by not telling them, because you're being put in these really awkward positions where you just want to be with them, and they're, if they don't like you back, then be like, okay, yeah, I know, don't say I know. Tell them that you'll move on, or that you need space or whatever, because you guys will eventually, if you're friends, come back and, be like, yeah, I like this girl, and you're like, oh my god, I like this boy, and or you'll end up liking each other, she'll like you, and you're like, oh, I like, whatever, something. Just kind of like the, like, meant to be thing, like, just vibe it out. So the whole cheating situation
is not good.
So if you are a guy and or a girl who is thinking about cheating, please stop and refix yourself. There was a reason why you decided to date this person that you were with and that you chose. So, like, if you are dating them and you think about cheating, just, like, straight up, just tell them. The best thing you can do is to tell them, because it'll only hurt them worse if you cheat on them. If you start falling in love with someone, that is where you just need to break it off. It shouldn't matter if it's, like, your 10-year anniversary or whatever. Like, the best thing, if you start losing feelings for them, tell them. That's gonna feel so much better on them that you were honest and didn't just act. If you are gonna cheat on them, then you're not a terrible person, but that is not a good thing to do. Being cheated on sucks. I know you are in a really tough position, but just tell them. It's so much better than having them, like, find out that you cheated on them and you didn't tell them. And if you did cheat on them and they do confront you about it, be straight up. Don't lie about it. They're still gonna find out. Sorry, I just stuttered. Just a little bit of advice. Whenever you start having feelings for someone else, whenever you lose feelings, tell them right away, because it's gonna feel so much better, and you're gonna feel like a weight is just lifted off your chest. Do not force something, because if you force something, it's gonna make you very unhappy. Don't have sex until you know that you're ready. If you feel like you're being forced to do anything, get out of the relationship. Date your best friend. And I know people are very against that, but it's way better to date your best friend than a total stranger, because you'll definitely be easier to fall in love with them. Be careful. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you took in any of the relationship advice, then you just took relationship advice from a single person. So congratulations! So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was definitely different. It was kind of like a TED Talk. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and click this.
And smash that subscribe button.
Because, we
love that.
I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.